Speaking of friends.
Shout out Badou Jack. Dominating performance.
Friend of the podcast.
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Jack.
Hey, what did we watch in that fight? I don't know.
Very assertive referee. I'll say assertive. He was very quick to warn him and say you have one chance left.
I gotta say, do you wish that ref was in the Kell Brook fight?
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too.
Only because
you know what's crazy is I can't help but be so fair and say yes and no. As soon as you asked me that, yes and no came to mind. Yes, because I know he would have broke it up, and the fight may have played
based
differently.
on his standards, Kell Brook would have been disqualified.
Right,
in
the
first round.
The fight may have played differently, but the ref was not a good referee. There's a difference between clinching and holding, and you have to be able to see that this guy's clinching and understand that hey, this is a part of his strategy in terms of winning this fight. And I just thought that the ref was in too fast. We looked up,
and none of us were like, man, he's holding a lot. It was literally like he held or he clinched early, and right then he was like,
"Hey, the ref looks like
don't do it again."
He seemed like a rookie to me. I'm gonna be honest. I thought he just came off the street.
He was quick.
So what the ref reminded me of, honestly, what y'all saw. That's the difference between an amateur ref and the professional ref. And that's why I remember we were talking a couple of weeks ago about Kenny Bayless, and I was telling you guys that who was it? What's the fighter?
2 words.
Ramirez and Taylor.
Taylor's.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Bayless came in and touched
Ramirez,
that glove.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jose. Sometimes you get so used to that the amateur way that the judges ref. You're used to, hey, stop, break, all that. He wasn't used to all this, and at that point, it caught his attention. So that's what most refs do. Most refs pull the arms down and kind of separate you. If it's a little too much and he doesn't see action, then he steps in and separates you. Opposed to an amateur ref, the amateur refs are taught to keep it clean, let these guys work, and make it so that the guys are able to punch. The amateurs it's all about working, and as soon as there's a clinch, the refs jump in.
Break.
And that was an amateur ref. As soon as there was a clinch or a hold, that ref was jumping in there. I hated it.
I would say Badou did what he had to do.
Yeah,
got him out of there.
Yeah.
Around that fight, Pascal. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah. Like you're.
Look at his physique. Are you really surprised? I know physique doesn't determine if someone's on steroids, but I just mean maybe that's not fair. But
Carson's not a fan of steroids.
No,
I feel like you could tell when it's a souped up version of that physique and when it's natural.
Steroids, you know?
Pascal.
Hey, I'm a fan of steroids in baseball. Bring it back, baby.
Hold on.
Pascal. Yeah.
It was the most exciting time of baseball. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, who is now white, was killing it.
He is Pascal. Pascal was.
It's a shame.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to test
Sammy
positive
Sosa
for one thing.
Yeah, for Sammy didn't go white.
No, I'm saying for Pascal, you tested positive for 4 banned substances.
That was crazy.
And Badou's typically, we know Badou. He's very
big baby. How many he tested for?
I don't know.
He was up there too.
Wasn't
87.
But I feel like Badou is typically a very level-headed guy. He's very chill. He was fired up. Like he was like, and then he said he thought maybe they was dirty the first time, and so this kind of validates that. But yeah, you're embarrassing yourself. Don't ever do it.
I talked to Badou the other day. Talked to him on Wednesday. And I asked him, I said, yo, at this point, I said, I know what this fight's about. It's about fighting John Pascal again. I said, but like moving forward, is it about the belts? Is it about the big names? Is it about the money? He said, man, I'm looking at moving up the cruiser. He said, but I had to get this dude back first. Yeah. And I'm pissed. Yeah. And he told me that on Wednesday. Yeah. Like, you got to move on to the next fighter.
He mentioned it in Leonard Ellerby was pissed about it. Everyone should be pissed about it.
I talked to Way was like, I just got to keep this dude focused on who we got now. Yeah. And I could tell that it was pretty serious, but Badou, I got to have that fight back, so I appreciate that about Badou.
Hey, I always wondered, so let's say you got a big fight and something happens. Do your purse change?
I think it may depends on what happens, but my purse has never changed, and I don't think that the purse changes.
You fought a filling fight.
Eric Bonet.
Shout out to the Bone Collector.
Fights, but
Eric Bonet.
That's my man. 50 grand.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, he was giving Shawn some work in the early rounds until he got him out of there.
I don't think the fight. I don't think the fight purse
It didn't
changes.
change for that?
I don't think so.
Shout out to Eric Bonet. I hope he's doing well.
Actually, it's funny now you mention it that
Hope his ankles.
Pascal would test positive because about 10 years ago, he caused a big scene at a press conference with Bernard Hopkins for their rematch. And he said, take the test, Bernard. Take the test.
That's when he was with 50.
I don't know. I don't think he's with 50,
God,
but
he's with 50.
Yeah, SMS.
That was weird.
But
But that
he-
was a weird time in boxing too.
I remember that though. He went off on Bernard Hopkins and said he was take the test if you're on it now.
10
Sure
years
enough,
later.
yeah.
It's crazy, man.
How funny is it if he was actually on it while accusing Bernard?
Hey, he
Hey,
should
that
be banned.
classic deflection.
He shouldn't even be allowed to fight again. Me personally.
I don't disagree. I mean that's just excessive.
crazy.
It's like I said, you guys, like you can like there's doing steroids and there's like he was like nah I'm doing steroids like serious. I think it was Badou mentioned like you have to inject those. I think I could be misquoting Badou, but I think he said those aren't something where it's like you're taking like nutrition and you're like it might end up just He was like I'm
Taking them
correct me if
Randy
I'm wrong.
Savage steroids.
Yeah, but I'm pretty confident he was like, you have to inject that.
That's exactly
allegedly.
what that is.
But yeah, so no, Badou got him out of there, moved on to the main event.
I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Better
Tell
BF.
me,
Yeah.
because I was disciplining my son. How did that fight end?
Some
Pillow
pillow
body.
TKO.
Some
It
pillow
was a
some pillow
body-
body shots.
Yeah, he put him down with some shots that didn't appear to be that strong.
But
of
I never
shots.
been in the
Badou's
ring.
strong.
It
of
was
course,
it was a replacement fighter.
Yeah.
Kind of
it was like a body shot kind of toward the back and he kind of fell. It was bad.
You want it out of there.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted out of there.
I wouldn't
Badou
mind
was-
seeing Badou stick around the division and fight a Better BF. Like he's like the definition of a veteran contender right
Yeah.
now. Who he's probably not the favorite against nobody like that, but Better BF. Who you fight? You got nothing. Badou Jack.
Yeah.
And Badou, I mean, he's no slouch.
I was gonna
Ever.
say, and also talk about a fighter who's changed trainers and really bought into the concepts that this trainer is bringing them.
Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Banks is an excellent trainer, old school. Is all about using the hands to create the knockout, and especially with the right hand. So
As opposed to what?
as opposed to what?
You said using the hands to create the knockouts. What are the other options?
Some guys look for one
Headbutt?
punch, you know.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, some guys look, you know.
I was-
you go to a trainer,
I
he's
was
like,
just
all
gonna-
right, so we're gonna develop that left hook, and it's like
I got
the
you.
next fight. The only thing this
So you're
fighter is
saying
doing
kind
is
of
throwing
you're saying
jabs and hooks.
overwhelm
You
him
know?
with multiple shots.
His
So I was-
punch
I
output
was
is
very
increased.
confused.
He's
Yeah.
a technician.
I need to say what the Showtime did not say after the first round, but he did not start off slow. I mean, I get it. Talk about him being a slow starter, but after the first round or during the first round, say, hey, this Badou's really picked it up.
Yeah.
Give credit where credit's due, you know. So I think that Jonathan Banks is doing a good job, and I also think that Badou is buying into the concepts and making some really good adjustments.
I think moving up, kind of going back to what you said. I think
turn this, man. I
yeah,
feel
that's
like
fine.
the whole
it might
time.
hit me, but if you say
whole
something
time.
crazy, I'm gonna. But I think that would be classic. What popped up into you, but I think his mindset, what he said is, I'm only here to fight Pascal. I'm only staying in this division to fight him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm moving up.
Yeah.
I would like to see him. We talked about Zytel and I talked about some of the cruiserweights. There's some winnable fights at cruiserweight for him. So I think moving up maybe. But yeah, he looked good.
Very boring division.
Cruiserweight. Not a lot of
action.
shine up there.
You know what though? I think that it's just a matter of the right guy being in
there.
that
Of
division.
course, yeah.
And then being like highlighting that division. You know, 130 and 135 wasn't always highlighted.
154.
Now it's being highlighted.
Charlo's
right now.
the only one holding it on.
154. I mean, I still got to get some more competition in there, and Charlo's keeping that division very relevant. You know.
Well, it's tough to. I guess that's the balance of exposure, but who are you putting in spotlight? So like you
get
can
behind?
damn sure try to highlight
Yeah,
some cruiserweights,
yeah.
but then it's gonna be like, nah, I don't want to ever see that guy in the main event ever again. So
What just came to mind, I talked about it last week in terms of female boxing kind of increasing and things looking better for them. But it took me actually like just watching and taking notice and being like, oh, okay. Maybe it just takes you watching the cruiserweight division. Maybe it takes a card having maybe 2 or 3 cruiserweight fights on the card.
like they did with what was it, Superfly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Superfly cards.
Yeah.
And by logic, the cruiserweight division should be fun to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Heavyweights, big punchers, cruiserweight.
Big guys who are forced to get in shape.
Yeah.
Because they have a weight limit.
True.
Right.
So, it should be, but for now, not so much. But
I never thought about it.
Right? That's how they should sell it.
Yeah.
Told you, man, you sharp on your
Big
own.
guy.
Don't take my
Big
stuff
guy.
no more.
Big guy.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.